Hey everyone, and welcome to my full review of the Samsung Galaxy S5. Now, I have been testing this phone on Vodafone's 4G network and 3G network, and so far I would say that it has been an absolute fantastic performer. But before we get into the full review, let's go over the specifications for this device one more time. So on the front, we've of course got that fantastic Super AMOLED display, which is a resolution of 1080 by 1920. It looks absolutely phenomenal. Colours are incredibly vibrant and very rich. It just looks incredible. It's definitely by far the best display I've seen so far on a smartphone. Absolutely incredible. On the front, of course, we've also got the light sensor and the front-facing camera, which is a 2 megapixel front-facing camera on this particular phone. On the back, of course, we've got the 16 megapixel sensor as well as the new fingerprint heart rate monitor, well, your heart rate monitor even, sorry, your speaker grill, and of course your LED flash. Left hand side of the device, we have our volume rocker. Bottom, we've got our USB ports covered up by, of course, the waterproof sealing flap here, as well as a microphone. On the right hand side, of course, we've just got the dedicated power button and a little grip for you to take the battery cover off. Nice and easy. Fairly easy to clip back on as well. You do have to make sure it is 100% sealed all the way around before you bother trying to test out the waterproofing capabilities of the phone, of course. But that's the overall of the phone. It's got a 2800 mAh battery as well. There's, of course, an IR blaster on the top, as well as dual microphones on this phone as well. So far it's been an absolutely phenomenal performer. Of course, on the front as well, we also do have the fingerprint scanner. I haven't bothered testing that up because, well, I've had a few issues with it, in all honesty. I found it a bit more of a pain than it was worth in order to use it. So what's changed on this phone since the Galaxy S4? Of course, the screen has got, well, much brighter and much more colour rich. It's an absolutely phenomenal screen. We've of course also got the fingerprint scanner and full waterproofing capabilities without having to buy the active variant on the phone. You also have, of course, Samsung's fantastic pedometer and S-Health application built into the device. Works pretty well. Has been a bit iffy lately by accidentally resetting all my statistics, so I have had this phone for 2 weeks at this point. But I'm only showing 4 days worth of statistics, and they aren't 100% accurate since, well, I have been at work and I definitely have done more than 301 steps walking around a retail store. But yeah, the S-Health app is fantastic still, absolutely brilliant application. Of course, your heart rate monitor works fantastically as well, when you do get it right, of course. It is fairly easy, unfortunately, to get this wrong and to make it slip. And misread, but other than that, it is a great little application. It's a nice little addition to the phone. Not one that I think is very useful in all honesty though, since it does take 1 or 2 attempts just to get it to work. Okay, so what is the call quality and battery life like on this device? I can definitely say it is a very loud main speaker on the top of this phone. It is, well, quite deafening when you're first using it, so you do have, well, I find myself having to turn it down quite a bit in order to use it without causing a bit of earache, in all honesty. Other than that, it's been absolutely fantastic. Everyone that I called said I sounded pretty damn clear on the opposite end, so always a good thing to know. It's got a great quality microphone as well, so there's no real complaints in terms of that area. Battery life, I found it a bit 50-50. If you're using it fairly heavily, then you will drain the battery, unfortunately, fairly quickly. I think the lowest period of time I've managed to get out of it is around about 8.5 hours. That's basically showing it off while I was at work, so basically constant use, showing it to customers. And I managed to pull around about 8 hours out of it with that, without having, well, before I had to slam it on charge at around about 5%. So other than that, it has been pretty good on battery. The best I've had out of it so far is what it's on right now, 60%. This is the second day of usage without having to charge it, and that's because it's had fairly minimal use over this last day, purely because I've been on a driving test, thankfully passed it, and well, other than that, I've been sorting stuff out for my car, so I haven't really been using the phone very often. Just to give a rough idea, my iPhone is still on yesterday's charge as well, and that's at 40%. So it is pulling away from the iPhone very slightly in terms of the standby time with minimalist use. But other than that, absolutely fantastic battery. Easily enough to get you through a day's solid usage. If you are a power user on the phone, however, you might want to consider taking around an external battery along with you as well. Okay, final section then. What's the camera like on the Galaxy S5? Now, my only minor annoyance with the camera, I'll just get into this first since it's certainly a small section, is so it does oversaturate on greens on the actual display itself. When you're actually looking at them on the computer, they look pretty nice, it's nice and sharp. But on the actual screen itself, same image, greens are very wildly oversaturated on that phone. That's all I can say, at least on the camera images. Other than that, it's a fantastic little camera. It's really sharp, keeps a lot of detail. I'm just open these up in a proper application as opposed to just in preview here. So I'll just open a few photos up for us. Not a good idea. Right. As you can see, it's captured quite a wide variety of detail on there. It looks very nice and sharp. You don't have much in terms of zoom that you can do on it without the image starting to distort. There's no noise in the image either, so it's overall a fairly nice little camera. So I did take loads and loads of photos of those little ducklings. Yeah, as I say, it's a very nice camera, very stable, does some really crisp images. However, if you do have shaky hands like that one, it can get very blurry very quickly. That's the only thing I can say bad about it, really. Other than that, image quality is really good. If you do want to check these photos out for yourself, they will be on my Flickr account as per usual. There's also 4K video tests as well on this, which this is one of them. Only thing I can say about the 4K is that if you are trying to take 4K video in slightly lower lighting conditions, as you could expect, it does tend to deteriorate in quality pretty quickly. Well, it doesn't deteriorate too badly. It's just you do get a lot of noise in the image. There's a bit of the digital zoom on the phone just there. I just had to try and get a bit closer to them when they're actually moving around. But yeah, as I say, as always, these videos will be on the Flickr account, ready for you to view in the full quality. I'm not going to be uploading direct off the phone because last time I did that, I did lose a bit of the quality, so I will be uploading directly from my Mac. And a few of the videos will be at the end, well, a few of the photos even will be at the end of this video as well for you to check out as well. But anyway, that's a review of the Samsung Galaxy S5. So far, I've not got much negatives to really say about it. The only issue is, in my opinion, is if you are using, of course, it is a power. If you are a heavy user on the phone, then you will drain through the battery relatively quickly. That's one of my only issues. The other one is if you are using S-Health, which I was trying to use it for demonstration purposes on this video, sometimes it can, well, at least for me, it did manage to reset itself. I don't know how, but I did lose a few. Well, I pretty much lost all my data for S-Health, which kind of sucks. But oh well. Other than that, as I say, fantastic screen. It's absolutely brilliant for playing games on, watching movies, or even just flicking through photos on, because it does make everything look absolutely phenomenal. Definitely one that's worth checking out. It's a fantastic phone, the Galaxy S5. Go check it out at your local Vodafone retailers if you are in the UK. They offer a few relatively decent packages at the moment, so the links for Vodafone will be in the description. And once again, thanks to the guys over at Vodafone for sending this device out to me for review. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I shall see you all in the next video. By the way, let me know what you think of the gold. I'm not sure what I think of it. It's a bit tacky, in my opinion. Not a big fan of it, but oh well. That is the Samsung Galaxy S5, and it is brilliant. Okay, now time for the obligatory test that everyone does when they have a waterproof phone, and let's throw it in there. And as you can see, it is still switched on. It is still looking great. The display looks absolutely fantastic even when it's underwater. So there's some bits of pulp floating around there in the water, but yeah, ready to go again. The only downside to the waterproofing on the Galaxy S5 is, well, just like any phone's waterproofing really, is the speakers do not tend to work straight away. If you do need to make phone calls after it's been in the wash, then yeah, it's going to take at least half an hour to fully dry out before you'll be able to hear anyone relatively decently. Otherwise, it's just going to be very tinny and very distorted. So yeah, that's the only downside to it. But then again, better than having a broken phone. Thanks for watching, everyone.